Very happy to meet you again. Last week we had one session related to research, and this week is a different concept, and the concept is very interesting. It's all about balance battles. At the outset, I just want to say a few lines. My deepest gratitude goes to all my teachers, my parents, Almighty, for giving the sense that God is permitting me to share some of the views related to the topic of interest. Any topic that is related to life, in fact, cannot be judged with one perspective. We have different perspectives related to life when it comes to any topic you take. This is also one such topic where everybody has got their own perspective. But today let us see how we deal with one dimension of this topic in the best possible way. And right now I will be sharing my screen with you for the presentation. Yeah. So this is the topic which we are handling today. Balance battles. You can see that as an interesting, what you can see, a picture there. Balance is in green color, battles are always red, you know that. But at the backdrop you can see a chessboard, which means that there is a game here between two different aspects of human mind. One is positive thoughts, the other one is negative thoughts. So one side of the chessboard is always positive thoughts, the other side of the chessboard, which is your mind, is always negative thoughts. So it is the balance that how you are going to maintain between encountering the challenges enforced by these positive thoughts and negative thoughts in your life. It all starts with the word P. In today's session we are going to have 3 P's. The first P is, everybody knows that. So last year when I went to Poland, I have a friend of mine from Lebanon. When I spoke to my friend, this P word appeared many times. When I spoke with my friends across Middle East, this P word appears many times in the usual conversation. What is this P is all about? The P is problem. Yes, we have number of problems. Everybody has got problems. And there is a perspective for this problem. If you want to say that P as a problem, perhaps you may be encountering a kind of weakness within you. In the course of the presentation, you can see that this P is slowly getting transformed to another P. So right now, the people who are attending the session or the people who are watching this video may have at some point of time encountered this P. This P means a problem. But I always say to students, inconvenience seen from negative perspective is the problem. Inconvenience experienced from the positive perspective is the challenge. So always the problem carries weakness. The challenge enriches and informs you about your strength. So if somebody is having a problem to manage work, family, expectations, reality, or say something like post-COVID life, it may be like this. You may have this kind of scenario there. So road is full of speed breakers. Life looks miserable. As my friend from Lebanon said, I have a lot of problems. So if you are seeing from that dimension, life looks like this. Every time when you encounter the life, it offers you a speed breaker. But my friends, when you are riding a bike on this road, if you are exactly at the speed breaker, imagine that life is in fact giving an opportunity to you. Yes, when you are at the speed breaker, of course you might have slowed down, but there is always a very good possibility to accelerate yourself with redefined energy. I am talking from life point of view, not on the ride on your road, a bumpy road like this. So whenever life slows down, it hints you the possibilities of getting back. It is common to everybody irrespective of their age, irrespective of their demography, irrespective of their geography. So the lessons of life is unique. Whenever we see a road like this, remember that there is an opportunity to accelerate in your life further. It's all about the way you look at things. In fact, I will always say that life is all about this kind of experience. A change like joy, the kind of excitement, the kind of enthusiasm to move forward is what driven us in our childhood, in our adolescence. But slowly you get more maturity, perhaps the burden of knowledge might have taken away the joy. I don't say that you don't procure the knowledge, but you also maintain the core essence of joy, the core essence of feeling excited about your life. That is the first mantra of any kind of problem. If you encounter a problem, remember the excitement. As Leo Isaki told in the last video also, we have discussed this. Unfortunately, when the age progresses, most of us conveniently forgets this joy, this excitement. So my dear friends, always try to live with this kind of positivity. I have seen great human beings in my teachers, in my friends, in my neighbors, who could able to sustain this energy, who could able to sustain this excitement, particularly my students, when they are listening to the class. So let us come back to this P. As I promised that we will go for second P. The second P is all about the power within you, the energy. You believe that you have a problem. You also believe strongly that you have a power and conviction to surpass the problem. In fact, I hate to use the word problem now, challenge. So the next P is all about power, which tells us that yes, if excitement is driving you, then the power within you awakens you consistently in solving any kind of problem or challenge you encounter in the life. Then what happens to the life? See, life is a very big theory to discuss. 40 minutes may not be sufficient to discuss about it. But I say that every life is similar. Every life is similar. Every life has got two limitations. In fact, two dates. The date of birth and the date of the grand exit. Yes, it should be the grand exit. At the time of grand exit, you must be like the red apple in the picture. you must have made some difference to your life and the life around you. So everybody's life is similar, but all there in your hands to create the difference. Everybody has got battles within them, but you have a chance to live aside and declare that, yes, I have battles, but I have power within me to handle those battles. It is the road that you take always makes the difference. It is the decision you made makes the difference. If you can see that, a different aspect from psychology point of view, some of them are asking me questions like, sir, I'll get anger, enormous anger, sudden anger, or how to handle this anger. At the time of anger, sometimes I behave strangely. I get often surprised when I look at that, my reaction. My friend, it is very easy to manage. In fact, I think Aristotle told once, it is very, very easy to get anger. But it is very, very, very challenging to use the anger, to execute the anger at a right place, with a right person, in a right amount, at a right time. This is not so easy. Getting anger is very easy, but anger management is itself a different ball game. But if you understand the dynamics of how your neural activity functions, maybe this slide helps you in understanding anger management, or for that matter, any emotion management. When sudden impulse comes to your brain, immediately the first information goes to thalamus. As you see in the picture, I have taken this grey shade picture from Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Of course, the other one is from the internet. When you take this, first hand information goes to thalamus, any kind of emergency information, and from thalamus to, most of the information goes to neocortex. But a portion of information also goes to amygdala. Amygdala is a small portion situated in the frontal lobe of your brain, which is an emotional center, which is responsible for all kind of emotional reactions. So when the initial information goes to thalamus from the retina, then you see some snake, as they are showing in the picture. If you see a snake, the first information goes through retina, through the thalamus, and from thalamus most of the information goes to neocortex, and some of the information also reaches to amygdala. Before the information gets processed in the neocortex and reaches to the epicenter to execute necessary reactions like flight or fight, amygdala reacts spontaneously. It gives you the sudden emotions like fear, anxiety. So, now you understand. Our elders used to say that when you get a sudden anger, count 1 to 10. Drink a glass of water. That means you are giving time for yourself when you are trying to let out your sporadic emotion to others as a reaction by counting numbers or by drinking a glass of water. So these are the strategies we employ to get our time before this neural information gets processed at the neocortex and reaches for a meaningful response. When you do this consistently, perhaps certain emotions, intensity can be reduced, the nature of reacting to situations can be reduced, instead of responding. So always remember that this hippocampus is the center of memory. You can ask me that, sir, what is the use of amygdala? Then let us remove it by operation. Yes, in a Western magazine, there was a joke also, like a husband got operated and his amygdala was removed. The wife who got a lot of complaints about her husband for many years started smiling at him and then called her physician and told that now I like my husband a lot because there is no emotional reaction to whatever happens at home. Jokes apart, let us see what amygdala actually offers. Suppose if you are going in a forest and you like the serenity of the atmosphere, there is a cool breeze and you want to sleep. You have taken your journey aside, you gave your pass, you arranged a nice floor for you to sleep. There is something you arrange and you started sleeping. Imagine if this emotional expression is absent in humans, what happens? This is the context in which we are discussing. If an ant is coming towards you, in the absence of your emotional reaction or response, you will see the ant, because your IQ always telling you that there's a data, lot of data. When you see the ant, yes, ant is a very small being. And you got an information that when you are sleeping happily, don't get disturbed by anything. This is the data given to your mind by books, by friends, by teachers, by parents. Remember, you don't have your amygdala functioning or it is removed. Fine, you continue your sleep. Now this time it is not ant, it is the elephant that is coming. What happens when you are emotionally paralyzed? Your data says that you continue your sleep. You open your eyes, see the elephant, you seldom find the difference between ant and elephant and goes happily into the sleep. That's it, you can imagine the rest of the stuff. In fact, Daniel Goleman says that if a person is having amygdala functioning properly, can give a response like this. Suppose if you have seen your cousin coming in front of you, this is a textbook example. Your hippocampus tells from memory that yes, your cousin is coming. But it is the amygdala who says that you like the cousin or you don't like the cousin. Now, you might have understood the importance of this emotional center. But emotional hijacking happens at the time of urgency, which can be controlled by the continuous feedback that you are supporting to your hippocampus, your brain, and to yourself. So what is so important, my dear friends? Sit, analyze. Analyze your emotional reactions, whether they are reactions or responses. Are you giving enough time to respond? If response is your choice, your battles can be easily encountered. You need not worry about the battle. So coming back to this, sir, what kind of learnings we can make out of the life? Human life is very silly, very, very silly. See, everybody started liking now nature. Everybody started liking now spending time with the family. Everybody started liking now to relearn themselves or in fact unlearn if it is possible. because of the only one word, that is nothing but the impact created by the pandemic. If there is no impact, we are not in this position to relook at ourselves. Human beings always make their experiences out of the impact. In fact, and on the top I have given impact, experiences, learning, application. Sometimes it can be in the other way also. Learning gives experience, and from experiences you will learn. It's vice versa. You can place in either way. But what is the most important one? The impactful experiences will leave you traces of lessons, powerful lessons. Then what is the link with this water bubble and the line there? The water bubble is, I have just inspired from Buddhism. Like in Buddhism it is there, like life is like a water bubble. The years of productivity are very, very less. It's your choice what are your productive years. But the span of productivity, thoughtful learning, healthy thinking, in order to institutionalize in yourself, it gives only some scope. It may be equivalent to the time before which the water bubble breaks out. This is what the essence of Buddhism says about life. So I am bringing into our context, like you have a very less scope for learning. Your time is less. Make out many experiences, watch out for many experiences, learn from each and every experience and apply in your life. This is so important. Whatever you learn, you must be in a position to apply. Now we are almost coming back to the end of the session within 10 minutes. We have discussed about two P's. One is problem, the other one is power. And we need to give solutions for the battles, how to balance them. That is the concept, right? You see that if your option is vengeance, your choice can be inclusion. If you are suffering with vengeance, you try to impart the quality of including, inclusivity, love more people, love more situations, love things around you, love your blessings. Inclusivity is the solution for a battle like vengeance. If blame is your problem, you greet them. If you are having a kind of habit of blaming others, start greeting them. You can easily fix another battle. And then it comes to this. No sir, I yell at others, at office, at home, suddenly, like a hysteric person. Then your solution is offering. You offer whatever is possible to them. Now the world is offering instead of yelling at the situation. And when all these things settles down, you are at the junction of realization. You are at the junction of realization. That is why there are two curves there. The red curve is your performance. Your intuition drives your intention. Your intention makes you attentive. If you are attentive, if you have attention, that leads to a powerful action. If there is an action, it leads to creation or innovation, sometimes invention. This is so simple. But if you can observe my previous slide and this slide, you can see that there is something, if I am right, one second. Violet, indigo, blue, green and yellow, orange, red. So it's a rainbow. People say that life should not be like a black and white movie. Life should be filled with colors like rainbow. Even I had a blessing of listening to my psychology professor class, quoted with a lot of movies, examples of movies, colorful life, colorful lessons. Yes, life is colorful. Life is like a rainbow. But remember, my friends, it has got all colors. It has got battles to handle with. It has got solutions to look for. It is having scope for realization. So try to look the life from the perspective that we are proposing today. It's a rainbow. Yes, it's a rainbow. It has got colors. Yes, it has got colors. But all these colors are revealing a different sense of approach to the life. That is the takeaway. Well, this is the takeaway. Let me come back to the last P. What might be the last P? Before telling about last P, in the journey of this colorful life, you need a guide, you need a supervisor, you need a mentor. Then who is the best teacher for you? Or in fact, who is the first teacher? Mother is the first best teacher to anybody. Yes. Then father. Father is the superhero, especially for girl children. First superhero. Then what about the third important influence in your life? Teacher. The third powerful lesson you will learn from teacher. That is why I always say with a full heart, no humanoid can replace a teacher who can disseminate divine grace to their students. That is why we are coming up with a video on teacher very soon. A very short video on teacher. So we need these three people, three systems in our place to guide us, mentor us to the process of battles and the possible solutions we have looked in today. But what is this last P? From the picture you might have understood, last P is nothing but prayer. Yes. The ultimate energy, the ultimate guidance comes from invisible energy. There is no religion in this. Prayer can be in any form, but prayer works. Prayer guides us. Prayer helps everybody to surpass unseen challenges, to unleash our potential, and to make ourselves as best human beings. So my dear friends, be selective in battles, even though you have all this support system. Thank you for your time and listening. From last 30 minutes, we'll be meeting soon on the concept and the essence of learning that comes from the powerful source, the teacher, very soon. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can post in the chat box. Otherwise, you can also mail me to jaykrishna.adc@gmail.com.